At some point, we've all had a goal or a dream, but weren't quite sure how to reach it. I'm Liz, and thanks to the efforts of staff at Martha O'Brien, I've reached so many of my goals. I moved to Nashville almost 5 years ago, escaping an abusive marriage and religious oppression. Leaving my faith meant losing my family, as their rules prevented them from ever speaking to me again. I was alone. I arrived with my 2 kids, whatever clothes we had, and I rented a room in a house with 4 other people. I didn't have a bed, so my kids slept on a big cushion, and I slept on the floor. I felt alone and hopeless. I didn't know anyone outside of my roommates, and the quarantine had rendered me jobless. I started driving Uber, but with the world shut down, that wasn't enough. I would go on to drive Uber for a long time, feeling stuck, barely scraping by, knowing that I wanted more, but not knowing what I could do without a high school diploma. I was hungry for change and progress for my kids and for myself. I wanted it so bad, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what my future would look like, but I figured I could start with getting my GED. So I Googled where to take classes, and Martha O'Brien was the first place that I called. Over the phone, they were so kind and helpful. When I came over for the first time, I was nervous. Given my previous experiences, I was afraid that I would be judged or turned away by a nonprofit that is faith-based. Instead, I experienced the exact opposite. I was welcomed with open arms and felt like I'd known the people there my whole life. The staff over adult education at that time gave me so much confidence that I knocked out 3 tests almost immediately and passed with what they said were the highest scores they'd seen in their time teaching adults. It was hard. Imagine being an adult and taking a test over things you learned in high school. There's algebra, pre-algebra, geometry, and statistics. Imagine having to learn all of that when you've been out of school for 13 years. Life kept happening, and I took many devastating losses, one after another. I was given a family coach who stood by me through all of it. Whether it was financial assistance or a friend that I needed, she would make it happen. She coordinated women's groups that were so essential. I didn't know how bad I needed to be in a room full of women talking about our experiences until I had it, and it was amazing. She also took an interest in my art skills and introduced me to Daybreak Arts, another local nonprofit that benefits artists in our community who are homeless or at risk of being homeless. Since then, I've had pieces hung in the Frist Art Museum. I worked with Belmont students as a part of their annual fashion show, and I've been able to give back to the community with my art because of the connection that I made through Martha O'Brien. I've gained the skills that have allowed me to learn how to network, how to market myself, and give back, which has taught me that I have something to offer and I have worth. Today, I no longer rent a room in a big house. I rent a townhome where my kids have their own room with a real bed and filled with toys. I have my own bed and a bed frame. I have a fridge with food in it. I have a car that runs. I've been able to pay many of my bills without any assistance, a goal that I didn't think I was going to reach for a much longer time. I got my GED, and immediately after, the Career Pathways director told me about a tech boot camp he thought I might like. I just finished the program, and I'm due to take my final exam soon to be an IT professional. Thank you. Thank you. Until recently, I'd never thought about where I would see myself in 5 years because I didn't want to live to see it. But now I see it. I'm going to get a job in tech. If anyone's hiring, I did bring my resume. I want to continue getting certifications and specialize in cybersecurity. I want to make 6 figures and put all my bills on auto pay. I want to take my kids on vacation. I would like to add a side of guac to my burrito without worrying about going bankrupt. My dream is not just surviving like I am now, but thriving, doing so well that I'm able to help others freely. I want to sit at one of those tables next to you guys, deciding how I can spend money on my community. I'm not quite there yet, but thanks to staff at Martha O'Brien, I can almost reach out and grab it. None of this would have been possible if I hadn't have made that call to get my GED with Martha O'Brien. Life was giving me every reason to give up, and I was losing myself. Without these people behind me, I would hate to think of where I'd be right now. Ashley Young, Emery Smith, Paige Simon, Wisdom Wright, Chaplain Miller, Sean Sanders, and the entire staff of Martha O'Brien. They gave me family when I had none, friends when I needed them, and guidance when I did not know what to do next. So when you invest in Martha O'Brien, you're investing in me and people like me. People who want more and have the drive, but just need the foundation and support that they offer at Martha O'Brien. For the first time in my life, I'm excited for what's next. You guys can help give that to others when you donate today. It is meaningful and it helps real, actual people. Thank you so much for your time.